Excuse me, am I messaging the right person? Is this Alex's fiance that I'm talking to right now? Is this your phone number? Are you who I think you are?
Hello? Excuse me, but I don't know who this is. I don't have this number in my contacts. I don't mean to be rude, but who is this and how did you get this number?
Oh my, well, this just isn't good enough now, is it? No way am I actually having to message you and then you have no idea who I am. Don't you know your own fiance's mother's name? How can you not know his own family yet? Do you even want to marry my handsome and brilliant son? Like, really? I'm asking you a serious question here.
Wait a minute. What did you just say to me? Okay, you just messaged me out of the blue and you asked me that sort of question? I suppose you are Alex's mother then?
Yes, that's right. And how do you not understand that from the first message I sent you, silly girl? You're really getting too ahead of yourself by having to ask me my name. I guess that's made me realize that you have no idea about manners and how to talk to your new in-laws. How rude are you? This is unbelievable. I can't believe the conversation is starting like this. I suppose it would be different for ordinary people like you who live in a different world than ours. I wonder if it's because you come from a lower-class family, stupid girl.
Well, you took me by surprise, to be honest. It was so sudden that I never expected to hear from Alex's mother. I never planned on you contacting me like this. Sorry. I apologize for my late introduction, but my name is Tammy. I know that we haven't properly met yet, but I recently got engaged to Alex. Actually, he asked me yesterday to marry him. We were planning to come over soon to your place and start our proper introductions in person. I wanted to actually say hello and tell you a bit about myself.
Wow, you're seriously such a carefree person. I can tell from the way you're interacting with me in these messages. You were contacted by a woman who might become your future mother-in-law. And then you turn around and announce how obvious to who I am, and it just seems so downright rude. I realize now that you're not a good fit for my Alex. I think the best thing for all of us right now is for you to cancel your engagement with my son and then break up so that we don't have to deal with you, okay? Can you at least do that?
Wait, what did you just say? You want me to break up with Alex because I didn't know who you were? Look, I never thought that I would hear from my mother-in-law so soon. I also haven't heard anything from Alex that you would get in contact with me before we came over to see you and the rest of the family. I'm just surprised to hear from you.
Are you actually being serious right now? Well, you and Alex coming over here to meet the family won't be necessary. Of course, he wouldn't message you about this. He's so busy with his job, is he not? He doesn't have time to report to you every time someone new is going to get in contact with you, Tammy. If you want to become Alex's wife, you have to be prepared to respond smartly to any situation, and you obviously haven't with this situation. I'm sure Alex will dump you right away, no?
I suppose you've got a point, but it's still a bit confusing what you're saying to me. I do apologize for any inconvenience that I've caused. I'll be more careful next time.
Okay, well, we're using up all our precious time for you to greet us and say hello. Next time you come over to our house, don't disappoint us, all right?
Yes, of course. I'll do my best to not disappoint. I understand what you mean now. Thank you for making the time to message me. I'm looking forward to meeting you soon.
You're an absolute weasel, Tammy. You're just a scavenger that approaches our lovely home looking for money because we work for a bank. All you are is a low-life woman who was raised by a single mother and is not worthy of anything in life. I guess you were hoping to marry a rich man? But unfortunately for you, and thank God for my family, that's not going to happen. There is no way that I'm going to let you marry my son, Alex.
Okay, I don't know where this is all coming from. This is just too much to take from someone like you. Would you quit throwing all of this at me, please? All you're trying to do right now is to get me out of your house, which is awful. I thought that as a new person entering this family that you'd be more welcoming and kind.
Well, you know, since ancient times, there have been many rituals that people do to slay demons out of their lives, right? That's what I'm trying to do. A poor woman approached my son for money, and so he felt bad for her, so he thought it would be good to throw coins at her. But he won't do it, so I'll have to do it, so you can leave.
So, you basically don't want me in this family because of me being from a different socioeconomic class? Really? Fine, so be it. I'll leave. Don't you think you'll regret this?
Oh, boo-hoo. Look, you're a poor person. I'll regret nothing. Don't get so cocky with me just because you were able to step over the threshold of my house. Don't ever think about contacting my son ever again. You're a horrible fit for him, and I want you to stay away from him. I'm going to cut you out of our lives now. Don't you ever try to get involved with my family ever again. You're a pest, and we don't want you anywhere near us. The engagement is off, and you're to stay away from Alex.
Is that what you want to happen, is it? Fine. If you're going to be this way, so be it, dear mother-in-law. I hope that you get what you want from this and that everything goes well for you.
What the heck do you think you're up to, you filthy human being? What's going on here? How did I only just find this out? I had no idea. Is your mother from the Davies family?
Okay, first of all, who the heck are you? That's a really stupid question to ask me. You just come out of nowhere and try to get information about my mother? Are you thick or something?
How dare you ask who this is when you know perfectly well who I am? It's me, you stupid little girl. It's Grace, you know, Alex's mother. So does this mean that your last name is Davies? I really need to ask you this question, and it is crucial that you answer truthfully. Could it be that your mother is the wealthy Penny Davies? Is this for real, Tammy?
Okay, so far, I wanted to point out a few things to you, Grace. First of all, I don't have a fiance named Alex. I don't know if you recall, but yesterday his mother cut me out of the family. She declared that, and I just did what I told her to do. But to answer your question, yes, my mother's name is Penny Davies. I don't know if she's known as a billionaire, but she does run a very successful company, and she does a lot of business with banks. But this conversation has nothing to do with you, Grace.
What the heck are you even talking about? Of course I've got a huge connection to what we're talking about right now, Tammy. Your mother is a regular customer at my husband's bank. Your mother has obviously been a loyal customer for a very long time, but the entire deposit that she had with our bank has been withdrawn. So that means other customers have noticed, and there's a huge fuss going on at our banks right now. What on earth are we supposed to do now that your mother has done this?
Oh, okay, that's very interesting. I see what you're talking about, Grace. My mother decided yesterday not to do business with your husband's particular bank anymore. When I told my mom that my fiance's mother had treated me badly, if you cut ties with me, Grace, which you did, we're going to cut ties with you and your family. My mother knew what she needed to do to make sure that everything was done correctly. She quickly withdrew all of her savings. My mother works fast, so I was surprised too.
Oh, that seriously can't happen to us, especially to my husband. How unfair of you both for doing this to us. How can you let your mother do this? I had no idea that your mother was one of our regular customers, so you can't throw all the blame on me. If we can just change things, then of course I'll let you get married to Alex. Then you'll be able to live happily ever after, and the bank will be perfectly all right. I wish that you'd told me sooner about who your mother is.
Yeah, no, I'm fine not doing what you're offering, Grace. You literally threw coins at me because you thought I was so poor. What's worse is that you made Alex watch. It was so hard to see him do nothing for me. He didn't even try to take my side in what was happening. He just sat there in silence. I thought he had more courage than that. Then those horrible last words, "I guess I can't marry you at all," was the final straw for me. I felt so ashamed that I would ever think of marrying someone like him.
Hey, you can't just say that to me. That is my darling son you're insulting here. When you're in a relationship, it's only normal for conflicts to happen, right? Don't you understand, Tammy? You've got to be more lenient when it comes to dealing with things like that. It's not his fault at all. He just froze.
If he froze, then why was he not snapping out of it when you were literally throwing hard coins at me? Explain that. I guess my values don't match your family's values. I'm really not a fan of people who try to dismiss their actions. And that's exactly what you and your family are trying to do here, Grace. There's no way we'd get along.
Oh, come on now, Tammy. That's a bit of an exaggeration. It was just a little quarrel that we were all having in the house, okay? Please believe me when I say that. Besides, it would be so good if we could all just try to get along as a big and happy family from now on. If we get along well at work and within the family, we'll be fine.
It would be beneficial for you to be friendly to us now that my mother has taken her savings out of your bank. There's no benefit for us to be friendly to you, Grace. You've got nothing that we want, so why should we have to be nice? In fact, I can't believe I'm involved with such a trashy and utterly rude family. You're wasting my time. We're in a very good position right now. We can choose which bank we want to deposit our money in now. We can determine who will be successful or not.
Tammy, please don't go and say those sorts of things. We can make you and your mother very successful when it comes to our bank. Don't say something like that. This time I went way too far. It's only because when I heard that you'd come from a really small family, well, a single mother family, that I didn't think that you would come from a good family. But it seems like your mother is a fantastic lady who worked really hard, so it's a completely different story than what I assumed. If you told me about your mother, this wouldn't have happened.
Well, she's a wonderful mother that doesn't need the stress or agony of having to deal with a family like yours. I say that very firmly, and I've woken up from your attitude. You'll also respect our intention to have no further contact with you. You contact us again, and we'll ignore you. We don't need this toxicity in our lives. We'll never do business with your bank ever again after the way you've treated me. Please stop trying to get in contact with me because I don't want to answer with you.
Please, Tammy, don't be like this. I feel really bad for saying what I did to you. Don't say such mean things when I'm trying to apologize. If you did that, we'll go bankrupt.
You literally called me a weasel, Grace, that I was wanting your family's money? What's with you calling me that for? So what do you think about saying that to me?
Look, I guess I wasn't thinking what I was saying the other day when you came over to the house. I guess I started to judge too quickly.
So who was the person that was being mean again? Because it definitely wasn't me, Grace. If my mother wasn't in the position that she's in now, I guess this wouldn't happen, right? But all she's been is a single mother to me, and you think that she's poor and separated from everyone else in society, right? You shouldn't jump to conclusions. There'll be no need for you to apologize for your own convenience at this point. I don't intend on forgiving or giving you a second chance with my family.
But I swear I didn't really mean anything I said to you. Look, people at the bottom of society have got nothing to do with us. I had no idea that your mother wasn't lower class. If your mother was a lowlife, I wouldn't have anything to do with her, and I would have just been insulting her behind closed doors to my own family.
Oh, is that right? So is that supposed to make me feel better about the entire situation? This still makes you super judgmental and horrible to deal with. Also, I was curious about something, so I hope that you don't mind me asking this super blunt question. How did you end up getting to your position in the first place, huh? Did you literally make any effort in getting to where you are today? Or did everyone else do all the work for you and you took all the credit for it?
Well, I saved my husband, who was also very wealthy at the time, from his disgusting and super gold-digging ex-girlfriend. I even got myself pregnant in order to marry him. I did my best to get him away from that vile woman. I did my best with him, and we're about to be successful with our bank. And this is where I am now.
Oh, okay. Is that so, Grace? So this is all the result of your own effort then? Very interesting. Does doing what you did make you better than the rest of society? You look down on people based on the shape of their family and who doesn't benefit them financially, so all you do is cut them off before giving them a real chance. If you're going to act like that towards everyone that you come across, then I've got no choice but to do the same to you, Grace. Prepare to be cut off for the first time in your life.
Hey, Tammy, no! Don't you dare say something like that to me, okay? Your mother's a huge customer and we need her to keep the bank running. If you really want to marry my son, go ahead and do that. It's fine. I'm okay with it. Of course I'll allow it and I'll give you my blessing. We can give you money for the wedding ceremony and reception. We can give you whatever you like, okay? Just please tell your mother to put her money back into the account that she's got at our bank, all right?
Unfortunately, I've got to decline your request. I don't plan on doing any business with you anymore. I've got business to attend to, so I'll be ending this conversation now.
Hello, my dear. I just wanted to get in contact with you because I knew you were a little anxious about interacting with that horrible woman, Grace. Have you properly taken care of things with her? Did she get in contact with you when she found out that I withdrew all my savings from their bank?
I've got great news for you, Mom. She ended up getting in touch with me, and I could tell how much she was on her knees begging me to accept her apology. Well, I do wonder if what she says counts as a type of apology, though. Anyway, they asked me to fix everything that happened, and I flat out refused.
Ah, okay, I see what you did. I don't blame you after all the things she said to you about who you are and where you come from. That's good. I'm glad you refused her. I won't have anything to do with those people from now on. I don't need them handling my finances at all. They hurt my precious daughter for no apparent reason, and they thought it was funny to literally throw coins at you, thinking that you were poor. If anyone does that to a person, they deserve to get cut off.
Yes, you're very right, Mom. I'm glad that I came to you about this and that I had the guts to be able to approach this woman and cut her off. Thank you for giving me your strength.
My amazing daughter, you're my number 2 for my company, so it's great to have confidence when it comes to dealing with those type of people. You don't need to be involved with people who do nothing but hurt you, especially when it comes to your partner's family. You don't need their crap at all. Always put yourself before them.
Yes, you're right. It's easier said than done, but I'm glad that I've grown to be able to put myself first in awful situations like that. It's hard since I've been looked down on, since I came from a single mother household. To be honest, I was very angry with others when they brought it up in a cruel way. I know now I was very lucky to have a mother like you.
Hey, really? Oh, is that how you actually feel about your family situation now? Well, that makes me feel so grateful to have a daughter like you, Tammy. I wasn't going to let you suffer just because your father wasn't in the picture. I raised you, so I hope you can take better care of yourself and your mental well-being from now on.
Yes, I definitely will put my mental health first when it comes to dealing with difficult people. I had a bad feeling about Grace when she started talking about you. I knew she was going to start looking down upon me and treat me like trash. I should have stepped back more and learned from what happened.
Yes, exactly. Unfortunately, we must learn from these terrible people in this world. I'm just glad we are not related to any of those types of people. I think that it's enough that you've realized their true nature. Now all we have to do is team up and put our hands together. I know that we make a great team, Tammy. Those people just got to their position without putting much effort into their work. I think that Grace is just a big-headed fool who's been wielding her power because of her husband, right?
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more, Mom. On top of that, Grace stole her husband from his ex-girlfriend apparently. She was bragging about her shotgun wedding. She seems to be mistaking that for hard work. It's not hard work at all, it's just home wrecking. Even at her age, what she's done is so pathetic.
Yeah, I don't want to be too rude, but I thought that was probably the case about her. She thinks that she can throw money at people and send them on their way. I don't think that behavior is any good at all. She's definitely not a good person, so I suppose that we don't have to show her any mercy, right?
I think you're absolutely right, Mom. I think the best idea was to withdraw your money from their bank and leave them to save their business. I'm really glad you did that.
Please, Tammy, please bless us with your presence. Alex really does regret not being able to marry you, Tammy. Oh, please, won't you just give my family one more chance? Please.
Oh, no. Is everything going to collapse soon for you? Oh, what an absolute shame. You know, I thought that it would be a waste of time and effort to have such a pointless conversation. Grace, I don't reply to things or people that I'm not interested in. What I'm curious about is whether everything is going to go bad for you soon. Oh, is that actually why you're contacting me right now? Because you're about to tell me that everything is going to turn to crap and say that you actually deserve it?
Hold on a second, okay? Isn't that a bit cruel? Don't you think you're being a bit cold-hearted right now, Tammy? We're seriously regretting the way that we've treated you. Also, Alex and I have been talking about how much we miss you and that he wants to do his very best to get back with you. He wants to start over with you, Tammy. Isn't that great?
Oh, is that so? I don't really want to start over with a man who doesn't stand up for me, so you can go ahead and tell him that, all right? He just has to accept that, Grace.
No, that's not good at all. Why are you being like this? We're a respectable family of bankers, okay? Don't you get that? If we work together, Tammy, we can expand our business here at the bank. Don't you think that will be great? You'll also benefit from this too, because I'm sure Alex will spend a lot of money on you. Please, just help out, okay?
That's why I'm asking you if everything is turning bad for you, Grace. I guess from the way you're talking to me, it is. However, we're working to destroy you too. It'll be fine if you tell me the results once everything collapses, so feel free to keep me in the loop about that, okay? I can't wait to hear about the bank's fall from Grace.
Excuse me? Why are you being like this to me right now? Don't you see that we're struggling right now? How can you just let this happen to us?
Can you please read over how you were treating me a few days ago, Grace? Don't you think it's obvious that I want you to fail since you were terrible to me? So it's only natural for me to tell you that we're trying to destroy you. You think you're better than everyone else. I don't accept that kind of attitude. You need to please tell me how everything goes with the bank once the results come in. I want to know whether your bank's going to be a bust or not. Well, there's actually no need for me to check what the results are. I've got a bit of a mean personality too, you see. So hearing this is making me feel so much better.
Excuse me? Are you being serious right now? What kind of task do you and your mother want us to do, Tammy? Why are you being like this towards me?
Oh yeah, I guess I should try and explain why I'm being like I am. Our job right now is to destroy your family because you've treated people with disrespect for too long. We've used all of our connections to move the funds that we've got from your bank. We originally wanted to help your business, but of course our minds changed when I met you, Grace. So we also got help from other people that have the same amount of savings as what we do in your bank. They also don't want to do business with you either.
I thought that it was strange that they were also bailing from our bank. You spread all that information about us. How dare you? You're completely ruining our business. At a time like this, everyone is moving their savings to other banks. I knew that something like this is going on. Oh, I can't believe this. How could you be so horrible?
Because you were horrible first. You've been treating people so badly. But yes, that's what we've been doing. There's nothing you can do now, Grace. The rest of what's happening will either collapse around you, or maybe you'll have the chance to rebuild everything, but that's ultimately up to you. I think it'll be good for you to make some good efforts so that you don't end up bankrupt. But in order to do that, you shouldn't be so arrogant, Grace. It's about time you wake up.
Please don't let this happen to us. I didn't mean anything I said a few days ago. Please just tell your mother to invest in our bank again so that we can keep afloat. Don't be like this. Don't be so evil. Don't do this all because we were a little bit mean to you. It was all just a little joke that got out of hand.
Wow, are you really telling me that right now, Grace? How would you feel if someone looked down on you all the time, huh? You know what, Grace? I'm really glad that I didn't get married to a man who was basically scared to do anything to protect his fiance. I never wanted to marry into such a rubbish family with such crappy values. The lower class aren't the scum of the society. People like you are.
I'm begging you, please don't do this to my family. I regret everything I said and did to you and your mother. Please just invest your money into our bank. We'll have no money soon. Please help us. Marry my son, and you can be an essential part of this family, Tammy. I'm on my knees right now. Just cooperate with us this one time.
No, none of you deserve my help or my mom's help. I don't want to hear from you ever again. Please leave me and my family alone. If you don't, I'll inform the authorities. After that, Grace tried to approach Tammy and Penny near their house, and they told her to stay away. She ended up ignoring their request, and they called the police on Grace. She was then taken away by them, so she couldn't sob and beg on her knees in front of them anymore. Tammy's ex-fiance Alex came to her to apologize for how his family has treated her. Tammy didn't see any value in taking his apology seriously, so she told him that she's going to ignore his apology, and the conversation slowly died down and he walked away from her. From now on, Tammy and Penny have consulted with a lawyer, and this mess will go through the law firm that they've hired. They intend to make Grace, Alex, and the rest of their family to make them reflect on their actions and pay the money that they're holding from them in the bank. After that, Tammy was able to strengthen the bond with her mother again. They embarked on a business expansion and regained peace. The next person Tammy meets, she'll definitely do a thorough background check on their personality and on their family before starting a relationship.